This needs to be blushed up a bit. I might be over blushing. But I don't like babies without color. I like them to pop a little bit. Yeah, maybe I'll make a vegetarian lasagna. So ricotta, parmesan, pasta, zucchini. I might cut up some green beans. The only thing I never put in my vegetable lasagna is broccoli. It will ruin everything. I love broccoli. Love it, love it, love it. But it has like a very dominant flavor. And if you pop it in there, it's all you're gonna taste is the broccoli. I use spinach, lots of garlic. Could do some thin sliced carrots. And I do a red sauce. I know a lot of people who do vegetarian lasagna with a white sauce. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I've got a lot of mozzarella cheese that I grated a couple of days ago in the fridge, so I wouldn't even have to grate cheese. That would be great. Ah, great. Some things I do aren't super hyper realistic. They're just for fun. You know, like a lot of this pink in the corners here, you wouldn't normally probably see that on an actual baby, but it just kind of gives this illusion of depth and health. And, you know, you think of babies as being nice and pink and squishy. I'm a sucker for a chubby baby. Just gonna make sure both hands look like they're related. Sometimes you get to work on one hand and it doesn't match the other hand. And you don't realize until you're almost done and you're like, oh no. So today's Saturday, so no schoolwork, woohoo! Got a little break. Thinking about going for a walk. When the sun comes out, get a little vitamin D. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Boom. Nothing alike. I'm so sad about that. Well, I'm gonna blush up this foot because I thought this foot was blushed and it wasn't. And see if I can get it close to the same color as that other foot. And then I'll worry about correcting whatever's going wrong over there. And yes, I've done this already with this doll and all the other dolls, but sometimes you do it a couple of times. Sometimes when you put the flesh layers on, this kind of fades out a little bit. My son is doing a live feed tonight. I don't know if he's doing covers or stuff from his last album. I'm guessing he's going to be doing stuff from his last album. That album was gorgeous. Oh, I just loved it. I think a lot of people who followed him from the time he was on television kind of had this idea that, you know, that's who he's supposed to stay. But they don't remember he was 17 when he was on TV and getting all that attention. And he was very, very young, and now he's 20, and, you know, he's writing and producing, and so he's growing as an artist. And I guess he could just have stayed in, like, you know, that lane and the pop genre and covers and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think he'd have been happy. You know, he needs to grow and make his music. I don't want all that deep red there. No, that's not working. I lied. So I'm going to get a little bit of matte varnish. The problem with matte varnish is that when I go to blush these again, I run the risk of the red catching on whatever texture the matte varnish made. Okay, so now I'm going to take her head and her limbs and match them together and see if they match. And honestly, I really feel like her head is darker than her leg. And I may just model a little bit of brown on her and see if that doesn't help the legs and the head match a little bit better. So I'll just do that because I don't want a thick layer of this on. I'm gonna get a sponge and let's see if you can see the difference. This just has a little bit more of a browny, goldy color, and it matches her face a little bit more. And I don't like to model with brown because I just think that if you're going to do more brown layers, it's just going to make you have these little patchy brownie bits. But I'm not going to put a lot more layers on her. I'm just probably going to do one very light flesh layer over. So I'm not too worried about this. I'm going to try to enjoy my alone time out here. I really need it today. I'm feeling grouchy. I mean, you know, I'm not depressed and I'm not going down that road, but I'm feeling, you know, I'm just feeling like I need some me time. Just want to kind of relax a little bit. It's so peaceful out here painting. I can't even, I'm so glad I moved my studio. I don't know what took me so darn long to figure this out. Sometimes all the right pieces have to fall in the right place. I'm just so glad it happened. I love being out here. I love the light. I love the space. I love everything about it. I mean, it's not fancy. And do I have a dream idea of the perfect studio? Oh, heck yeah. I've actually had a really great studio that I loved so, so much. But, you know, it just wasn't the right time for that in my life. So I'm here and this is what it's the right time for. And I can't complain. I like this space. I'd like to get the last batch of 6 photographed and listed. Get this batch of 6. And I'm not working in 6, I'm still working in 5s, but for some reason on both of those times I had a reason why I had to throw in an extra baby. And but I'm gonna just go back to 5, I think. 6 is fine. There's no real big difference between 6 and 5, but I don't want to like go, well, if I can do 6, I can do 7. If I can do 7, I can do 8. And no. But I think 5 is the magic number for me. Now I'm going to get started on Joanna. Oh my goodness. She is browning up. She looks so pretty. I want her to have like caramelly skin. Just that a warm, yummy skin tone. So I am just putting on lots of layers of this brown. It's this color. Again, it looks darker in the jar than it is, as you can see. And I'm just taking my time. I guess this could be a light skin AA baby or an ethnic baby. I don't really have a label. I'm just making the skin the color that I want. And however anybody sees it, that's fine with me. Pretty. And I'm not going to go too much darker than this. I think the next layer I'm going to use this, but I'm going to darken it up just a tinge, and that will be my last flesh layer on her. And I won't go too much on her face. I'm just going to do her head and then reblush her in places that I need to. I think that's plenty lovely. And I hope I have some pretty eyes for her. I think she'd look pretty with nice big brown eyes. But I may goof around and play around with other color eyes. I love it when people have, you know, striking eyes with dark skin, but I also love brown eyes too. I guess I have one kid who has brown eyes, deep chocolatey brown eyes, and then I have one kid who has light brown hazel eyes like me, And then my other two kids have very, very light blue eyes. Noah and his sister have the same, about kind of the same similar color eyes. Noah's are a little bit lighter like my dad. My dad is Spanish, but he has blue eyes. Oh my goodness, this foot is so pretty. I'm liking this flesh tone. I think it has a little more yellow in it than it needs to have, but I think it's working. I don't mind it at all. Some part of me wants to color correct that out, but another part of me is saying, leave it, leave it, leave it. It looks good. Look at that transition to foot. That worked out great. That doesn't always happen for me. I'm glad when it does. This batch of babies is turning out pretty cute, I have to say. Pretty happy about it. So what do y'all have scheduled for your Saturday? Well, actually, by the time this goes up, it won't be Saturday anymore. But what do you have scheduled for your day? How are you keeping yourself busy? What are some fun things you're up to? Oh, and before I forget, I want to address this, and I don't want it to be heavy or weird. But I noticed last time that there were some, political comments and stuff, and I do take responsibility for that because I did get a little more political in the last couple of episodes than I should. I know those opinions are mine and they don't need to be shared. If people want to see that, they can turn on the news. There's plenty of that going on. And you can go on the internet and, there's plenty of controversy and people with different opinions, and it's kind of not my place to try to let everybody know where I stand or try to convince anybody to stand where I do. That's not my job. This channel is about painting babies and the baby community and having fun. I think I just got a little wrapped up. It's been kind of weird, as y'all know. And what I'll do moving forward is just kind of steer away from that kind of stuff. It's not helpful. And I don't think it's relaxing, and, not what this is about anyway. Although there is a lot of tea spilling over here in the reborn community. I would love more than anything to comment on that, but I'm not sure that it's appropriate. I mean, I've been subtle about it, and I think a lot of people are trying to stay as neutral as they can. So what's your favorite part of this? If you're an artist, what's your favorite part? Because for me, this part's my favorite. This, and painting the babies is my favorite, and painting hair. I love to paint hair. I don't know why. It's so weird, but I just really love it. I think I'm growing to dislike the photography part. First of all, I'm not a photographer. I just use my cell phone. All the technical parts of photography, they're not interesting to me. They're too difficult for me. I'm embarrassed to say it, but they are. I have a DSLR, and it's like too many things to deal with. Too many dials and buttons and stuff. I don't want to. I just want to take the picture and get to the next thing. Make more babies. And I have like a little formula when I do photography, and I try to stick to it because I don't like editing photos, and I don't like any of that stuff. I know I have to do it. It's important, and it's the only way that people can make a decision is by looking at the photography, right? I mean, that's all they have when you buy online. If you don't have good photography, it's not fair to ask somebody to put down that much money if they don't really even know what they're getting. And so I respect it, and I try to do my best, but I enjoy it the least amount. But my system is I try to do top of the head, because that happens to be one of my favorite things. Top of the head down, baby feet, because who doesn't love baby feet? So I want people to see feet, top of the head, left side of the face, right side of the face, full on face, and some pretty little pose, just a nice photograph. It doesn't really have to be about what the doll looks like. It's just something nice.